souls. Oh.
All Souls Unitarian Universalist Church, building community, inspiring growth, creating change. Here in the heart of Kansas City, we come together to create this hour of shared reflection so that we might be renewed in courage for these times and inspired to lives of greater dignity, higher purpose, deeper generosity, and more effective action. May the words and music and images that we offer today nourish our best selves, calling forth abundant wisdom and love, a love that has the power to overcome both loneliness in the heart and oppression in the world. Welcome to our service.
Arise, O souls. Oh, arise.
Good morning. I'm Richard Thompson, and I'm a member of All Souls. Whether you're here in the room or watching online, we're glad you're here. Your presence enriches us and our time together. We are a Unitarian Universalist congregation. Our tradition is a large tent with room for many beliefs and approaches to the questions that matter. It is our values of inclusion, compassion, and justice that hold us together. We seek to build the beloved community, making room for everyone and creating a world where everyone's needs are met. You may be new here this morning. Welcome. We know that your first time attending a church, you may want to keep a low profile and just check out things quietly. That's great. And if you're a visitor and excited to be here and to let all of us know who you are, we invite you to raise your hand at this time. That was very brave. Thank you for enriching us, all of us with your presence today. Experience what a small group feels like following the service. This one-time sample group will take 30 minutes in the meeting room. If you have children, childcare is available in the nursery. Whoever you are, whomever you love, wherever you are in your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. Whether you come with laughter in your heart or tears, you are welcome here. You are invited to join us with an open mind, a loving heart, and willing hands. We welcome you today. Thank you.
Angie, don't leave. Because tomorrow is our membership coordinator, Angie Jennings' birthday. She is achieving a number divisible by 10. Charles, would you help us sing at her? Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Angie. Happy birthday to you.
And everyone, please enjoy cake in the lobby after the service. In her honor, you didn't have to get this one. Cake is the most important thing. The cake is not a lie in this church. So, it's been a rough week. Congress passed and the president signed a bill that actively hurts our community and communities across the nation. And yet, We were to celebrate the promise of what our nation could be at the same time that we mourn what it has become. There has been catastrophic flooding in Texas. Violence continues. And all of this weighs upon each of us, in addition to all of the worries of our daily lives. We are holding too much. You are holding too much. Everyone here is holding too much, and we must be gentle with ourselves and each other. We are not designed to hold all of this, and we must step back every day to acknowledge that the extra weight of the world we carry keeps us from being our best selves. And so we must practice compassion for self and others. We must help ourselves step back from the enormity of it all and tend to our hearts and spirits. Because this is the only way that we can show up for one another with the goodwill and the love that we promise. So let's take care of each other's spirits this morning. Our children will remain with us to experience together 3 spiritual practices. And so together, we will relieve our hearts and our spirits by being in the moment, experiencing joy, and beginning what could become a practice that we do regularly because it nurtures us. These opening words are by Elena Westbrook. In a world ravaged by violence, by hatred, by conflicts that seem eternal and insoluble, sometimes the only thing we can do is be still for a moment, to remind ourselves what is real. The sun that rose this morning, the dirt under our feet, the air whispering in and out of our lungs. This hour, try just to be present in each moment as it unfolds. Your simple attention is what makes these moments holy.
Our chalice lighting words this morning are by L.A. McCrae. Let us walk with each other through the journey of life, attentive to the path and its challenges, illuminating the dark places, and leading with love. Now I invite you to stand in body or spirit to join in reading our covenant, and then remain standing for our song. Together, we affirm, goodwill is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
People to move so that they can see, because this is going to be a sign along. We incorporate a little bit of American Sign Language into our song. So if you can't see me, move to the aisles or even move up front here. And that includes the kids. Can you hear me? Yeah, okay. Our first sign is going to be a collection of 3 signs. It's enter, rejoice, and come in. So for enter, we're going to just wave people in. Just come on, get in here. For rejoice, we're We're gonna celebrate. Take your 2 fingers, kind of crook them, and go up as high as you can. And for come in, we're gonna wave the people on the other side in. Get in here. Today will be a joyous day. We're gonna take our this is the hardest sign, okay? 2 hands, and they drop, and they end up in this shape like this. 2 hands that drop. Today will be a joyous day. Your non-dominant hand is your horizon, and the other is the sun that falls down. Today will be a joyous day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your heart, everyone. So here's our heart. Just open it. 2 flat hands are going to open. And then for everyone, pick a finger. Start it yourself. Gather everybody in. And bring it back to you. Anybody need any repeating? Just follow along the best you can. Have fun.
Let's do it. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your hearts, everyone. Open your hearts, everyone. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in.
Before I share with you this reading by Eric Walker Wickstrom, I wish to draw your attention to the coloring page within the order of service. As you listen to the words, allow your imagination to fill in the scene. This reading is from the book Faithful Practices. We are wise to try to understand what we mean by the words spiritual practice. There are, of course, many definitions, many technical terms we can turn to in an attempt to quantify the ineffable. My own favorite response draws on the writings of the Unitarian Henry David Thoreau. In his classic book, Walden, he wrote about the reason he engaged with his experiment of living in a 10-foot by 15-foot single-room cabin at the edge of Walden Pond. Quote, "I went to the woods because I wished to live deliberately, to front only the essential facts of life and see if I could not learn what it had to teach, and not, when I came to die, discover that I had not lived. I did not wish to live what was not life. Living is so dear. Nor did I wish to practice resignation unless it was quite necessary. I wanted to live deep and suck out all the marrow of life. I did not wish to live what was not life." In that simple phrase, Thoreau asserts there are essentially 2 ways of living. One is a life lived truly, fully, vividly awake and alive, while the other might be called mere existence. Perhaps not surprisingly, he thought that most people of his day were living not life. After all, this is the man who wrote, the mass of humanity lead lives of quiet desperation. So life and not life. The observation of this dichotomy does not belong to Thoreau alone. The Buddhist traditions use the terms delusion and enlightenment, living as if asleep and living fully awake. The Christian traditions talk about living alive in the Spirit and living dead in sin. Over and over, throughout the religious and spiritual traditions that humans have developed, we find the teaching that there are two ways of living in this world: in a way that is truly alive and in a way that is not really alive. We can define spirituality then as the quest to move from the not life to life, from being asleep to waking up, from death to life. Spiritual practice grows out of the awareness that this transition is not easy and that once achieved, takes reinforcement. Jesus is said to have prayed regularly. Gautama Buddha is said to have meditated daily, despite having achieved enlightenment. The spiritual quest is in many ways like the artistic quest. You could probably make some pleasing noises if you picked up an instrument every once in a while, or create a painting that was pleasant to look at if you brought out your paints and brushes from time to time. You might even create something remarkable, but it would more than likely be a lucky surprise. If you really want to make progress, you need to practice often, regularly. It takes some discipline. There is a reason that spiritual practice is often called spiritual discipline.
Good morning. I want you to please take note that after the baskets are passed for the offering, the children will pass their own baskets that have, bubble wands. So everyone please take one, but don't use it until you receive instructions. Okay. My name is Anita Malott. I'm a member of the board, and I'm here to ask for your financial support for our general fund. Now, we know that we need your financial support to keep the building maintained, to keep the lights on, to keep the staff paid. But we also know that money alone isn't the reason why people come. It's not the building. It's the people that are here. It is, how would a church like this have survived over 150 years just on a structure? Wouldn't have happened. It survived that long because people made friendships and developed relationships with other people here. So I'm inviting you to take advantage of all the offerings that we have here in terms of getting to know other people. We have small groups, we have dinner for 8, we have teams, we have the membership team and RE, and we have committees. And so I encourage you to get involved. That said, we all know it's essential to have a place to meet. So the offering is the offering.
Graciously given.
Thank you. The offering will be graciously given and gratefully received. Thank you. Thank you very much. Please join me in the dedication of our offering. We dedicate our offerings and our actions to the mission at the heart of this congregation, to build a respectful, caring community, to inspire personal and spiritual growth, and to create change toward a just and compassionate society. Thank you.
This reading is from Making Magical Moments and Letting Them Go by Lynn Aquafondata. Some of the most profoundly connected spiritual moments just happen. The light filters a certain way through a tree, in a clearing in the woods, connecting earth and sky in brilliance. A piece of music fills the heart, becoming all of existence, lingering in the silence after the last note. A child says something that channels the wisdom of ages, filling an older person with a sense of awe and connection. When each moment ends, it can never return except as a treasured memory. The passing aspect of these occurrences adds to their specialness and beauty and invests them with a sense of mystery, wonder, and longing. No one can make these moments happen, though we can seek them out by going to particular places at certain times, such as a lake at sunrise or sunset. We can also seek them out by preparing ourselves internally, because spiritual moments involve a relationship between an individual and all that exists. Two people can experience the very same occurrence in dramatically different ways. Bubble meditation provides a tool to create a unique, fully aware, but passing moment. This spiritual practice brings the past and the future into right now, the present. It focuses attention and awareness and then assists in the act of letting go. The practice itself is fairly simple. It involves opening a bottle of bubbles, taking out the little plastic wand, and blowing bubbles while focusing on aspects of life for which you are thankful, troubled, regretful, and hopeful. 3 principles underlie this practice: focusing on the now, living in transience, and also a spirit of play. So we are going to practice this meditation. Now is the time to pick up your bubbles. We're going to open them, and we are going to think of something for which we are thankful today. Something big, maybe, or perhaps a simple pleasure, like a stranger smiling at you today when you walked by. I would like you to blow a bubble as you think about this moment, this something that you are thankful for. Watch the bubble blow up, float away, and pop. Let's do this a couple times. There's a lot of thankful bubbles up here. Now, let's think of something that is troubling you today, or perhaps it's an area or aspect of life around which you hold negative energy. Let's blow a bubble to represent this thought, this event, or this person. Watch it enlarge, float away, and pop. Okay? Let's do this a couple times. Very good. Okay, now we are going to think of something today that you regret, something that you wish had been different. Blow a bubble as you think about this longing or this regret. Watch the bubble expand, float away, and pop. And now, we're going to think of something for which we hope. Perhaps it's something we are working toward. Let's blow some bubbles of hope. So many bubbles of hope right now. And sometimes we just blow bubbles for fun.
It's really hard to stop blowing bubbles. Be at work again. So this reading is from an essay called Collecting Joy as a Spiritual Practice by Ann Richards. She writes, I have struggled to recognize joy my whole life. While I try not to be a Debbie Downer, I have always veered toward the pessimistic and skeptical. This all began to change one gloomy spring day when I was sitting in front of a keyboard for the umpteenth hour in a beige-colored office accented with fluorescent lighting. I was working for the estimable Reverend Ginger Luke, who encouraged me to leave my computer and come out with her to the front lawn. I was feeling overwhelmed with work and didn't want to stop typing, but grumbling to myself, I followed her. There, alongside the walkway leading to the church, was a small, lonely, purple flower. I thought it sort of sad and underwhelming, and was considering something polite to say when I looked up at Ginger. It wasn't the purple flower that was noteworthy. It was Ginger's face. She brightened looking at it. Her mouth became a dimple-punctuated smile, and her enthusiastic words encouraged me to, look! And watching Ginger's joy was contagious, and I began to feel joyful myself. Walking back indoors, I didn't have a dowdy office. I had a shared space with my excellent friend Beth. I had good music on and was making progress with my projects. I felt joyful. Not long afterward, I turned on my car radio to hear John Mayall singing Room to Move. If you haven't heard it, it is mostly harmonica and guitar. And our author writes, I cranked up the volume, smiled, and car danced all the way home. I felt truly joyful listening to that amazing harmonica solo and remembering how my father would lean closer to the speakers to better focus on this song as he listened to it. Again, I found myself experiencing joy through others, a great discovery for someone who had been immune to feelings anywhere approaching something like joy. I began to consistently collect moments of joy that I would relive and treasure as a way to awaken joy in myself. Collecting moments of joy has become a spiritual practice for me. The collection requires very little thought. I can call up the memories anywhere and anytime and easily collect lists and files of the artifacts to refer to. What I found to be more complicated was identifying what would go into my collection. And so to assist in this, I have certain guidelines for myself to choose appropriate examples of joy for my collection. Something is a spiritual practice only if you make it one. And I try to make my practice both special and particular. My parameters for collecting joyful moments. It's more than happiness and is instead unbridled, unbounded joy. The joy should be infectious. The source of the joy doesn't need to be inspirational to me, but I should recognize the joy sparked in others. I think we have a beautiful example of that happening in the center aisle right now. Weddings, births, and similar life events aren't included. And joy at another's expense doesn't qualify. The spiritual practice of collecting moments of joy has grown for me as I share them with the people I love. They may not feel the same sense of joy I do when listening, looking, and sharing, but they do get to know a little more about me. And I have the wonderful feeling of enjoying those moments again with those I care about. That is the end of the reading. So this practice of collecting joy is so important right now. When everything feels so heavy, recognizing joy seems so far from what's possible, which is exactly why we need it. I have a colleague who takes pictures of beauty around her and posts them to Facebook most days. The joy in one another, seeing those smiles, and loving the thunderstorm and being awestruck by the rainbow that follows it. And tell me that you have seen that this past week. And Friday night, not only did I find joy watching Love's Labor's Lost in the park, but we all shared that extra moment of joy that a line referenced fireworks when we had been listening to their booms throughout the entire performance. And that actor delivered it perfectly for the moment. He's like, well, it could be this and this and this, or fireworks. Oh, priceless. And we laughed. And Isaac was sitting near me. And he laughed so hard, knowing that that word was indeed in the script, that he curled up in his chair laughing. I got his permission to say that. So I have collected that moment of joy. As we recognize the joy, the marvel, the laughter, let us live into that feeling. And I think that's the most important part of this practice. Not only feeling the joy, but noting that we are feeling it, which helps us to feel it even more. Of the spiritual practices we're sharing with you this morning, while I love the bubble meditation, I hope that you will make the greatest effort to take up joy. It is resistance to the fear and the evil. It is our proclamation of human wholeness. We are joyful. And with that, I want to invite the children. Hey, kids, will you come up here? And any exuberant adults? Because we have room to dance up here. And we have these amazing scarves that you can dance with. Because we're going to dance with joy and abandon. And those adults who are less exuberant may dance from their rows or the aisles or even their seats. So let us together dance and build the joy among us.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air like I don't care, baby, by the way. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Clap along if you know where the room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Clap along if you know that happiness is the truth. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Here comes bad news, talking this and that. Well, give me all you got and don't hold back. Well, I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Bring me down, can't nothing bring me down. Your love is too high to bring me down. Can't nothing bring me down. Can't nothing bring me down. Can't nothing bring me down. Your level's too high to bring me down. Can't nothing bring me down. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Clap along if you know that happiness is the truth. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do.
Okay, I like that. This is a reading from Entering the Labyrinth by Leah Darlin Jones. Have you ever had a soul connection to a shape or image? That's how I felt when I first encountered the labyrinth, particularly the image of the 12-circuit labyrinth associated with the Chartres Cathedral in France. Because labyrinths are enjoying a resurgence around the globe, you're probably familiar with this image. When I first learned about labyrinths, I mistakenly thought they were mazes or puzzle-like paths lined with hedges. The labyrinth is not a maze at all, though some do have hedges or are lined with plantings. In the mid-1990s, when a colleague described the labyrinth her congregation was making, she expanded my understanding of labyrinths. Immediately, I was intrigued and wanted to understand more about what she described as a single curving path leading to the center and out again. Her congregation was painting the labyrinth on canvas. It was designed to be used indoors, yet was possible for use in a variety of spaces. Something about the ancient shape of a labyrinth speaks to me archetypally. The pattern feels both familiar and mysterious. I experience it as simultaneously grounding and ethereal. Some say that walking the labyrinth takes you out of Chronos time into Kairos time, moving you from the regular rhythms of seconds, minutes, and days to the larger sense of meaningful time, sacred time. You have a sense of timelessness as you move from the outer paths to the inner and center and out again. Although there are many shapes, sizes, and styles of labyrinths and many different cultural interpretations, something about the form of the spiral is echoed in all the designs that both connect and transcend each individual one. The labyrinth itself crosses time, cultures, and theologies. Perhaps one of the most compelling aspects of using the labyrinth as a spiritual practice is that it meets you wherever you are, emotionally, physically, theologically, and spiritually. There's no right way to experience it. You can walk at whatever pace, or skip, run, dance, crawl, go forward or backward, walk straight in and straight out. Using the labyrinth in whatever way feels true and right at that time and place. Sitting by or with a labyrinth, either alone or with others, can also be profound. Simply being with the labyrinth form is soothing. Walking a labyrinth is a spiritual practice that people of all ages can access. On my very first labyrinth walk, a young girl was on the path in front of me. She offered me the gift of witnessing as she danced and moved with joy along the path. Watching her connected me to memories of my young self and to the wonder of experiencing something new with such an open heart. A gift of the labyrinth is that you can walk alone or with others, and with the young and old and everyone in between. There's room for a multitude of expressions and experiences. I find this inclusivity heartening. The use of finger labyrinths, handheld labyrinth designs in wood, clay, or even on paper, make the practice even more accessible for those who are ill, imprisoned, unable to visit or physically walk a labyrinth. The labyrinth is a symbol for pilgrimage. It helps me as a traveler on my life's path to remember to pay attention, to breathe, to listen, to pray. When I walk a labyrinth, I am reminded of my connection to the larger whole, to that which is bigger than my understanding. As I walk, I often feel held by something larger than myself. Now, we're going to get a chance to practice with a finger labyrinth. You should look in your order of service. and you should find a little labyrinth. This is how you should hold it. Now, I encourage you to put away anything else that might be distracting you, the phones, the coloring, whatever. Now put your order of service on your lap, or you can hold it, if your hand is big enough, in one hand. And now I invite you to settle into your chair or wherever you're sitting and take a couple really deep breaths. And focus your attention on the picture of the labyrinth. See where the little break is. That's the entrance. And just trace the path with your finger, up and down and around. Follow all its turns and loops until you come to the flower-shaped center. You can rest there a moment if you want, and slowly follow the path back out. Please stand as we join together in song.
When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we trust the wisdom in each of us, every color, every creed and kind, and we see our faces in each other's eyes, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we tell our story from deep inside, and we listen with a loving mind, and we hear our voices in each other's words, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we share the silence of sacred space, and the God of our heart stirs within, and we feel the power of each other's faith, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, We are blessed with love and amazing grace when our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we meet again. His closing words are by my friend and colleague Joel Miller. Let our lives be a prayer that waters dry souls, mends broken hearts, refuses to be terrorized, seeks this world's beauty, and carries us through its storms. Go in peace.
May your life be as a song, resounding with the dawn, to sing awake the light and softly serenade the stars, ever dancing circles in the night.
What do you think of my new digs?